You reject in this book the idea that life has a dead end. I mean, you just kind of slam the brakes and say, no, no, no. You write, so many folks feel like their life is like a dead end or at a dead end. And you write that there are times when you have felt that way. Can you describe how you felt in the past when you were at that wall where seemed like there was nowhere else to go?
Well, I think especially for me as a young woman, having been abused all those years, married the first guy that came along, and then, you know, each time you have hope, well, this is going to make me happy, this is going to work, somebody's finally going to love me. And then he ran around with other women a lot and basically was a petty crook and a con man, and so, you know, that just didn't work out. And then toward the end of the marriage, I got pregnant. He lived with another woman. He left me, lived with another woman that lived 2 blocks from where he and I had lived. So every day when I would go to work alone and pregnant with his baby, I would pass by and see his car out in front of her house.
Oh, my.
Literally, when I got so far along in my pregnancy that I couldn't work, which was, I worked right up until 9 months, but I had the privilege of carrying all my children 3 and 4 weeks overdue. So I had nowhere to go. Yeah. I didn't want to go back home to my parents knowing what my dad was going to do. My husband had left me. My hairdresser, the woman who did my hair, said, you can come and live with me and my mother until you have the baby. Wow. When I went into the hospital, which I went through a clinic, so every time I went, I saw a different doctor. I had no idea what was happening to me when I went into labor at all. My mother was sitting over here beside me in the midst of having a nervous breakdown, and so she was basically yelling the whole time, oh, my poor baby, and I didn't know what was happening to me anyway, so listening to her, I thought I must be really dying. I come out of the hospital with this baby, and at that point in my life, I was homeless.
Oh, my.
I had nowhere to go. Now, thankfully, there was a relative, a woman who used to be married to one of my husband's brothers who took me in. She was a Christian woman, and so I didn't end up out on the streets or anything like that. But so when you go from that condition to where I'm at now, I mean, come on.
So you're not talking one dead end, but
no.
Dead end after dead end
dead end after dead end after
and you
dead end.
even have to drive by a house to remind yourself that you were at a dead end.
And it's amazing to me, really. I mean, so amazing what God will do in somebody's life. But it's just so important that people realize that that's not just for me.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm no special case. I mean, I literally am as ordinary as anybody could possibly be. And I'm telling you, the promises of God are for whosoever will.
Amen.